Gabbo presents.
It's Gabbo, and right now I'm joined by Tommy from City Lock, who at the weekend defeated Tech9 Europe at the Championz League King of the Dubplates clash in Stuttgart, Germany. Tommy, was this victory even sweeter coming off the back of your disappointment in Switzerland the weekend before?
Definitely. It's always better to first lose and then win than the other way around. So yeah, definitely it was sweeter.
What was your game plan coming into last weekend's clash?
Well, we didn't make too much of a plan, really. We know the club and the most of the cities around a little bit, so we did know already more or less where it would go to musically. But what we really didn't know from the Switzerland clash, the most important thing is that we find some time just to relax before the clash and talk about some arguments that we want to do, because in the clash in Switzerland we didn't have that time at all. You know, Ali came straight from the airport into the club, and people did realize that we did not connect good, not only to the crowd but also ourselves. And that was the main problem. You know, the arguments of speeches and dubs, they were all there, but the most important thing is that you also feel comfortable with everything around, and therefore we just said in Stuttgart, we're going to take our time. We travel there with the first flight, so we relax before we go to the clash, and that was the only thing that we really changed from Switzerland to Stuttgart. Otherwise, musically, we were just ready and just going into the war and just, you know, dealing with the thing however it came.
In which areas of the clash do you think you dominated?
Tech9 on the Saturday night clash? I don't... Musically, as I said, we had the experience with the people, what they more or less would like. So it must have been that. Plus, it was just the vibes on the stage, and the people very quick always realize about your vibes, and then you start to get them vibes too, or not. And that night it was us getting the vibes from the people very early, and yeah, I didn't even talk out most of the speeches that I had in my mind. I just dealt with the crowd, and the crowd realized, and I think that was the main thing what really had us above all over the rounds, you know.
Do you think the dub for dub round was needed, and did you consider walking out?
Well, honestly, I could have ball and say it was a lock off, because anytime when Shutter Paul was asking who lead the crowd, you would hear mainly on audio too our name, and I asked the crowd for a lock off after the last song, which was the biggest song for the night by far. It was custom made with German lyrics by Ronny Trettmann and Spider, first time in a clash, big up. And I asked the crowd, and they said lock off. And then I could have ball and tell the host, tell the promoter, look, ask the people if they want the lock off. But I said to myself, fuck it. It's not about just getting the trophy, just getting the win. It's about to show the crowd that the machine is not rusty, and we did prove that already in that moment. So I was not afraid of losing the clash or not getting the trophy or whatever, and I said, fuck it, let's do what we like to do. Play dub for dub, play sound clash, just go on, you know. Even some of my members said, yeah, are you crazy? You have to lock off, you have to win already, so why we going to the dub for dub? Why you don't convince the host? And I said, no man, whatever comes, man, we do our thing perfectly already, so just let's go. And I tell the crowd, look, the dub for dub is not necessary, but I give you a bonus, so you can hear more dubs from Tech9 and more from our side, and then we play the dub for dub, and finally we win it. And yeah, in the very last song, even we almost fucked up with the technical problem, and then, you know, it was only fair that we still get the trophy, because that was really fucked up in the dub for dub thing, you know.
Who do you think had more fans in attendance, yourselves or Gabbo?
I think we played there more times in the area, so more people did know us. Like, not from the name, but seeing us on stage more often. If that makes them fans, I don't know. So I think there was not really no special big fan base there. We didn't bring a bus with people or nothing. It was just our sound. It was just sound members from Berlin there, no one else. And the same with Gabbo. He was there alone. There were some people from his area, but there were like 300 people in the club, so nobody really brought a fan base. And while the clash, sometimes it was hard to get a forward for him, and for us the same. And sometimes he get a big forward, and it was for us the same. And sometimes even he get some boost while the speech, and for me was the same. So it was all the same all the time, you know. There was no particular fan base before. I think every fan was made in the clash, you know.
And carrying on from your comments to Sound Addict TV after the clash in Switzerland, were there any hooligans in attendance in Stuttgart?
No, not really, because you didn't hear a lot of boos or biased people, really. I mean, in the end it was a little bit hard for Tech, I think, but since he's not really from the area and since he didn't play there a lot, I don't think that he really have like personal haters, what I call really hooligans, you know. I don't think so. I mean, sometimes if you play clash and you do something fucked up, then you deserve a boo. I'm not saying that people should not boo at all in a clash. It is just a thing. If you do a speech that, you know, don't hit the musical aspect, or if you play a splice stop and then you get a boo, then it's deserved, you know. But then after that the crowd should be fair again. But some people them come to a clash and it's like they come to boo. So that is what I call a hooligan, you know. And I pre that from long time, especially in Europe. For example, I've been to the Rhythm Clash 2008 as a visitor, and there were people carrying a fuck Soundquake poster to the dance. So you would not come to a dance and be unbiased, and then you don't like what the sound is playing, and all of a sudden you have that poster with you, you know. That is a hooligan already, because he don't want to see that sound go on good in the clash, and that is a hooligan. And the thing what I don't like about that behavior is that you put yourself bigger than the music and bigger than the crowd and bigger than the sound car. If you really come to a clash and you want to see every sound give their best, you know, then you should not try to fuck up the nerves of the sound. Because if you do that all the time, then the sound will not get better. You know, even if a sound do not good in the first round or whatever, you still, as an honest clash fan, you want the sound to get better in the next round. But if you bring up a poster and saying fuck your sound, you don't want him to get better. You want him to come out anyhow, you know. And you spoil also the vibes of the people that are there. Nobody comes from a clash and have a good feeling if it was booze all the night. Everybody would feel spoiled, you know. But if you are biased, then you just give forward for your sounds, and at least you create some good vibes. So that is the whole hooligan thing that I was talking about. But in Stuttgart, I didn't see that at all, you know. It was like ups and downs for every sound, so I didn't see them, no.
Why did we see City Lock take a 3-year plus break from clashing?
Yeah. Very good that you asked me that right now, so I can explain that outside of a sound clash right now, because in a clash, you know, it's always depending on the arguments and you don't have time. But right now, I'm going to explain that very clearly. We never stopped to love sound clash less than before. We always went on cutting dubs. We even promoted sound clashes in Berlin more than we did before. We did like 3 Euro Cups. In cooperation with Supersonic as a Superlock project, but it was also our energy going into the clash, so we always kept on loving clashes and voicing dubs. But in that time from 2009 to 2010, we clashed like 5 times or something in 12 months or something, you know, and we really went to the limit of our energy. And me and Ali, we are really like clash, like really addicts. But take that like by the word, like, you know, I don't take drugs, I don't even smoke cigarettes, I don't have no other things that I'm addict to. But when it comes to clash and Dubplates, then I go out of the discipline sometimes. You understand? Like everybody have that thing with some things, and for me it is clash. So, and really in that time I realized by myself in my life, this thing is getting too big. It's too much of priority only for the sound clash. And I said, all right, look here, the industry or whatever, the coming back of what you give to the to sound clash and what comes back is not in a proper balance. If I compare to the other things in my life. So right now is really the time to cool down, because I cannot clash in between. I go full 100 or I go nothing, you know. So I said, all right, let's go with nothing for now. We don't clash, and whenever the time is ready again, then we're gonna clash again. And when we were not clashing, we realized that it is really good for us personally to be off with the clash thing. Like even when we went to Jamaica for the first time, the whole crew, and not having a clash, that was a total different trip. You understand? I went to Jamaica several times before. I never see the beach before in Jamaica, but that time we were there. We were not under pressure with the artists, with the dubplate sessions. We just, you know, we cut some dub sessions whenever we wanted. But if we didn't feel like that, we just didn't do it. You know, so it was much better, and we extended the time, not clashing more and more, and then we said, all right, if we ever go back to the battlefield and we're going full 100 again, then we're gonna need support by members, you know, new members. Since we were the old founders and we grow with our age, with our responsibilities towards other teams. Now we even baby fathers, you know. So it was the matter was that we needed new members for the sound to play the clash again. Otherwise it would not work. And we didn't really find them. We found Keon. He's a member of City Lock, and he brought MC Dwayne, but MC Dwayne is not on the sound no more, just Keon. So we didn't have the team yet, but now we have the team, and we decided when the clash requests were coming, we said now is the good moment to come back to the battlefield, because we're gonna have people who are gonna extend the clash thing for us, and the clashes were also good clashes. You know, we had requests all over the years. Every time people asked us again, yeah, when you're coming back, I have an idea, you can clash with him in that city, but Badadan clash and Championz League were like real clashes. We said, all right, now is the right time to come back. These are big clashes, big chances, big sounds, and we have new soldiers ready to shoot, willing to shoot. But we wanted to do these clashes by ourselves, big man style, you know, come back to the battlefield by ourselves. But for the very next clash, you will see our new members fighting with the box, you know.
Speaking of your next clash, you're going to be coming over here to the UK in January to clash Ecstasy 4x4 and Immortal. How do you see this clash playing out?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. We played a clash in Canada before. It was also 3 sounds, and 2 were from the town, from Toronto. Big up Jill. And we realized that the fans, they really wanted to see the 2 sounds war out something, you know, since they were both locally and maybe they had a history or whatever. So we were not really getting into the war. And for UK, I have a same feeling, because we were told that the 2 sounds, Ecstasy and Immortal, have a rivalry and a long time thing going on. So people really want to see them, and we are just coming into the thing. But we have to find a chance to make the people them know that we are also an interesting part in this clash, you know. So it's going to be hard, but whenever we're going to get that chance and we're going to use it, then things can turn around, you know. That is what I preview from now. And it's the first time for us to clash in UK. It's after a long time the first time for us to clash in front of native speaking English people, mostly Yard people, I think, which is a big difference, especially for me, because winning a clash in Europe means that you have to make a compromise towards what you think, what you want to say on the mic, and what the people can really get, you know. That is always the big difference with us. We go into a clash, and we know to win the clash we have to compromise more of what the vision is of a clash, of the vision of the people and of our vision, you know. But UK, I expect more hardcore crowd, so maybe I don't have to compromise so much this time, you know. So it's really going to be very, very interesting for us, for me, yeah.
Ideally, how many times would you like to clash in 2015?
You know, it's also interesting that you asked that, because you see the whole win or lose or who get the trophy thing is absolutely overrated, in my opinion, you know. That is why so many clashes are not happening, because sounds are asking themselves so much, will I win or will I lose, you know. But in the end, that should not be the big question. The big question is, will you perform proper? Are you ready? And if you are ready, then you should be able to clash like almost every week, you know. But the sounds make so much out of the status by winning or losing a clash, that clashes don't clash for years. Sounds don't clash for years only for that reason, you know. We now that we are back on the battlefield, and now that we have our young guns ready, no matter, every weekend, we don't care. Whenever the deal is right, we're ready, you know. And we have a lot of requests already, so you will see.
Big announcement today, the lineup for Warner East 2015. As you're part of the Superlock family, it's only right I get your thoughts on this upcoming battle. Break it down for me. Jugglerz, Germany's very own, against Black Chiney, clashing for the first time in Europe.
It is something very special and very different. You have two big juggling sounds. Jugglerz, really the big juggling sound in Europe right now, and Black Chiney, maybe one of the most known juggling sounds in the world. So you can expect a different clash from some traditional clashes, and that is good. So you have something special, you have something different, and everything in Europe is also moving toward us, like really die-hearted people who want to hear classic rhythms and classic songs. They are getting less, you know. We have a new generation, and we have to give the new generation what they really like, and I think it's that, you know. And you can also show the world that having a sound clash is not only depending on how much old and rare dubplates you have, but it is really also a big question of entertainment, and that is what I promise myself a lot from the both sounds, you know. And me personally, I'm also a big fan of the way how Black Chiney cut dubplates. So even if they would not bring so much traditional or old songs, but whatever I know from them, I will be happy too. The people will get good vibes from them too. And for Jugglerz, I don't know them box so good yet, so that is a surprise, you know. So it's really interesting in all aspects, I think.
Tommy, thanks a lot for your time. Congratulations on the victory. And just before I let you go, hold up that trophy and show it to everyone watching this interview.
I have it right here. Them say Championz League, King of Dubplates. And one thing I want to say, since we were talking about it before already, we were not on the battlefield. We were taking back ourselves a little bit from the whole spotlight thing before. We're going to even do it right now more. That don't mean that we will turn on the thing around the sound. The thing will just turn up a lot, because we have the new members. We have a radio show from next week, I think, the Rollout Wednesday. Big up Lady V, big up Chin. We have a rhythm to drop, a big rhythm, and we have new members, and they are not only from Berlin and Stockholm. So it's going to be more cities involved in all our plans. Dub sessions will turn up, clashes on fire again, things turn up again. Peng.
Gabbo.